Test, audio test. What's up, folks? Yeah, I had to cut the intro early. I've only got an hour tonight. I've got an hour to give you tonight because I have to go pick up my youngest kid from church. Rusty's here. Roto's here. Oh, Snow Ox. Of course, I see a dork on screen. That must be your reflection. That must be your reflection. Ninja's here. Shout out to Ninja. All right, let's see. Ninja, Rusty, Roto Rick, Snow Ox, Scorpion, Potato Chip. Is Kick still a thing? It is, even though Chud was just perma banned. I saw that on X. I didn't know who he was. I thought I recognized him from some viral videos. But he just got banned. B's here. Let's see. Dazed. Shout out to Dazed. Dazed is watching this on YouTube. Let's see. Max is here. I think that's everyone. Maximus was first here tonight. You heard it right. I am streaming on YouTube, so we really have to be careful. I know there's some stuff in the background. Let's see. Twitch notified me 2 minutes late. Late. Just put late in the chat. We're going to go right into stream discussion. Let's see. I do have some notifications. All right, let's do this. Let's set up the green screen. Let's go back. I don't think I bookmarked anything for today, but I have a ton of. Oh wait, I do have stuff. I do have stuff in here. Airsoft. Yeah, it's all airsoft. So let's go green screen. Give me a second. Oh. All right. Roto Rick is lurking. We're gonna dive right in. I have. Let's see. Let me turn my volume up just a hair. I do have, let's see, I don't know if we covered this one last night. Oh, yeah, we didn't. So we stopped here. Not last night. Such a clean transition. You know, I try. Pro streamer here. Actually, wait, I didn't stream yesterday. I hope you all missed me as much as I missed you because it was great because I got to spend family time. You know, we got a lot of stuff going on. Got to spend family time. But it felt weird because it was like 9 o'clock. I'm just sitting in bed. Cuban's here. Present. All right, we'll start here with this one. I'll just let it play.
When climate change is flooding our streets, poisoning our air.
Okay. Climate change is flooding our streets and poisoning our air. This lady, where is she? She's a congressional Democrat. Let's see. Where is she out of? It's gotta be like, I don't know. Vermont. She's Vermont, right? Had to spend time with her family. Yeah, dude, it was rough. No, I'm just kidding. We had a good time.
Driving up healthcare and disaster costs. How can the EPA justify abandoning that duty to protect Americans to appease polluters under the false flag of economic growth?
Following the law, Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, where does it say anything about fighting global climate change?
It doesn't.
Loper Bright, Supreme Court case. You familiar with it?
No, I maybe others are not, but let me ask
But
you.
that's really important. As a member of Congress, Loper Bright says that we as an agency don't have the authority to get creative. If Section 202 of the Clean Air Act...
No, but you don't have, excuse me, you do not have the right to say climate change does not exist.
Slave to her emotions. She's already getting all fired up. Here's the response she should have given. You know, I'm not familiar with that. Let me read up on it and then we can discuss it. Or... I'm not well read on that. Can you explain, you know, your stance? Can you explain? But to be wrong and then to immediately get mad, can't trust people who do that. You can't trust people who do that.
That it's a hoax, and that's where this administration is coming from.
I understand you're upset that you don't know what Loper Bright is. Do you know what the major policies doctrine is?
I'm upset because...
You know what the major policies doctrine is?
You know what, let me just
You're a
say
member
this
of
to
Congress. You should know.
Well, you have moved from someone who defended the environment to all of a sudden...
Being very defensive about...
Wow. Connecticut, 83 years old. That explains it. Get this lady out of here. Seems like most of the smog comes from cities that are full of people that commute. Most of the cities are blue, so it's a facto. Liberals are responsible for the climate crisis. There is no climate crisis. Can we just try to pollute less? Regulation. Oh, Mrs. Farmer Joe's here. Mrs. Farmer Joe. Actually, wait, wrong song. Thank you so much for being here. You have been in our thoughts and in our prayers. I was at your house today while Tyler and I were over there scaring the chickens. I actually did manage managed to scare the chickens with the drone, which was great because I didn't realize how many roosters you had over there. And the roosters, well, they'll fight the drone if it gets low enough. So, but thank you for being here. Thank my favorite Vidorians. I'm where, but if they're going to make it up, I'm going to hang it around the neck. There you go.
About not knowing the two biggest landmark Supreme Court cases of the last year with regards to your question.
You are very defensive about changing your policy and your positions with regard to the environment. Now, you just tell
Do you want me to tell you what the two biggest Supreme Court
want you to
cases
tell
are of the
me.
last few years?
This is what I want you
Michigan
to tell
versus
me.
EPA,
Whoa.
West Virginia versus EPA.
You know, you're here.
He's done his research. Loper Bright removed the Chevron deference, which enabled Fed agencies to have a deference to interpret statutes. Okay. Now it's back in the court's hands to determine the best. Okay. Go ahead, put illiterate in the chat. When it comes to pollution, China and India are the main culprits. Maybe I mean, we know. But let's see what else.
Do you want me to tell you what the two biggest Supreme Court cases are of the last few years?
This is what I want you
Michigan
to tell
versus
me.
EPA.
Whoa.
West Virginia versus EPA.
You know, you're here because you need money from us. So
There
hold
it
for the
is.
second.
You're here because we decide where the money goes. You're here at our mercy because we decide where taxpayer dollars go. It's in plain sight, folks. It's in plain sight. There's an amendment in Louisiana up for vote to extend the age of forced retirement for judges from 70 to 75. It's a prime example of why I'm voting no. But they don't have air conditioners.
And wait for the questions and answer the questions.
Well, I answered your question,
No, you
and you
didn't.
didn't like my answer because
did
you
not
don't know what
answer the
Loper Bright is,
question.
because you don't know what the major policies doctrine is,
Chairman,
because
is this
you're
how to
asking me,
answer questions?
you're asking me about Section 202 of the Clean Air Act, and you don't read it. You don't know what it says.
Listen, and what you want to do is to deny. You want
No,
to.
I actually read the law. I do my homework.
Really?
You're just somebody who likes to have the microphone on. You know what I have to do?
Got her.
I read the law.
You know,
I
Mr.
read the
Chairman, I
Supreme
don't have
Court
to listen
cases.
To this, and I would say
No,
this,
what
know,
you should do
that
for your
this-
constituents is actually
this-
read statute.
This budget is at real risk.
Read
Let
your
me tell
Supreme
you,
Court.
This is the Appropriations Committee.
Oh,
you
you're
come
not-
here.
you care
and
about
you tell
science? Now
us-
you're threatening to defund it?
Oh my God! No, you don't fund
Because
science.
you don't know what Loper
You
Bright
are
is.
climate
Because you don't know what the
deniers.
major policies
You are
doctrine is.
climate
Got her.
Your message
deniers.
to our folks at the EPA is that you want to
I don't
defund
have
us.
to listen to this BS.
BS. You think I made up these cases?
Yeah, I think you have made.
Legislation that she's unfamiliar with that is pertinent to what she's talking about is BS. What? They'll just keep getting owned. They can't defend their arguments. Something about her makes you think she's one of the. I need to have an audio for that. I'll make a note. I need to do that.
I made up Loper Bright. I made up West Virginia versus EPA. I made up Michigan versus EPA.
I can't put my finger on it.
Woe is right. What are you doing? Why
Wait,
are you helping
whoa.
polluters?
Wow. Shut that down immediately. That lady went from 0 to 100 immediately once it was determined that she had no clue what she was talking about. Here's what you do when you have no clue. Trust me, I'm well versed in this. When you have no clue, you just say, man, I didn't know that. Let me look into that, and then we can have a conversation. Or, paint the picture, tell me exactly what you have. Tell me the information that you've obviously already done the research that I should have done because I'm an elected official. But no, I'm going to start throwing my weight around and say, guess what? I have the thumbs up or the thumbs down on the congressional vote. So you better do what I say. I'm the evil supervillain. Agreed. The X-Files audio would be perfect. That is true. But that is licensed music. I'm going to find something creepy to play. I don't know. I can look into that later and provide information at a later date. I was taught, I went through a certain school where you never use the phrase, I don't know. You never use that phrase. You guys know, in my law enforcement career, I used to say, hey, there's nothing I can do. I changed that. Just by changing that, you put people's mind at ease even when there's nothing that can be done. You say, at this point, there's no further action I can take. However, I will follow up. It's so much more caring. It's such a better response than there's nothing I can do. At this point, there's no further action that I can take. I was taught when I went through school, when I went through a military school, don't say, I don't know. Say, I don't currently have that information, but I'm making a note. I will follow up, or I'll get that, once we're done here. Boom, done. Puts their mind at ease. I saw that at Apple. Let's find out together. Well, it's not finding out together if you already know the answer. If you already know, like, hey, this computer's not working. Here to boost the view count. Oh, Oh, and Mrs. Farmer Joe. Mrs. Farmer Joe. You sub, I hug. That's sub love, and that's real. Shout out to Mrs. Farmer Joe for the sub. Everybody who subbed, thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys know I benefit from it. He's hugging a woman in her life. I've been yeah, but it just showed me the resub. It just showed me the resub. It might be auto resub. Oh, and Patch is here. Shout out to Patch. I can't talk too much about Patch. I can't talk too much because we're streaming on YouTube right now. I'm in the capital city. Ugh. I'll be down that way tomorrow. Might have to stop and purchase some ammo. I don't know. Who did I name drop? King can't read my chat, so I read the chat. Okay. My town or DC. It's definitely your town. All right. At this time, massive, large-scale federal operation is underway in Minneapolis as the FBI, along with the United States Department of Homeland Security and HSI, executed more than 22 raids. 22 raids. Good Lord, 22? As a part of a sweeping fraud investigation involving businesses, including some child care centers. I wonder if this is the Leering Center.
Large-scale raids targeting federal
fraud. I wonder if it's the Leering Center.
Currently underway. Federal agents seen leaving the Quality Learning Center. And Brooke Taylor has more on that and what they're looking for. Brooke, good morning.
Hi, Bill. Good morning. Yeah, we have had a photographer there at the daycare since this morning, capturing video of those federal agents just going in and out of the building, collecting evidence as part of the DOJ's fraud investigation in Minnesota. Take a look at this video here. Sources tell Fox that federal agents are raiding about 22 businesses across Minneapolis this morning. And sources say many of them are tied to Somali-owned operations. All of this comes after that viral YouTube video from Nick Shirley. It was back in December. In that video, he visited different child care centers. And you'll remember they were either closed or there were just no children inside, despite receiving state child care funding. Now, the location that you're looking at right now, it's the Quality Learning Center. This is the daycare. It went viral. It blew up on social media.
Shut it down.
Because of
But Tim Walz said there is no fraud. Let's see. Daughter had a full... So now that Mrs. Farmer Joe is mentioned, and I will read the chat, and I'll let you guys know. Daughter, their middle daughter, same age as my middle daughter, same exact age. Daughter had a full open chest procedure Monday and had her pacemaker and wires replaced. She's been dealing with a lot here lately over the last few days. We've definitely kept them in our prayers, include some fasting. There has been fasting that's taken place, but we are hopeful. And the picture that I saw today, the picture from the most recent update, is she looks phenomenal. She looks like herself. And my favorite thing is her sleep mask that just says nope. It's been a while, right? She's very happy. Good. And I'm assuming, and I did read this, but I'm assuming that she's loving the popsicles. She's loving the popsicles. I would be too. Shout out to the baby girl for dealing with all of that. Glad she's safe. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. There are no depths in their depravity. They want you defenseless, desperate, and... New York defends ban on body armor, insists it's too... How is body armor too dangerous? Civilians can't have body armor? Hope they use crayons to fill out all the paperwork. Eating the popsicles... Eating all the hot... I was doing all right. I was at about 70%. I was at about 70%. Eating all the popsicles the hospital can get. Thank you. Let's see. I don't need meds. She's currently on FaceTime with big sister. Good. Flipping her off. Oh my gosh. Tell her that I scared the chickens. Nobody needs meds. R.I.P. John Candy. R.I.P. A true legend. The Supreme Court has ruled that drawing congressional districts based on race under the Voting Rights Act is unconstitutional. 6-3. Who were the three? This is a huge win and could have massive ramifications for the 2026 midterms. Democrats for years have sued over and over again to force states like Louisiana. Sorry, that's Viter. States like Louisiana to create black majority districts. Louisiana's map has now been thrown out. If SCOTUS ends up getting the act, a dozen Democrat districts could be flipped red overnight. Wow. Overnight.
Good morning. Okay, so this at first blush here is a win for the plaintiffs who were not black plaintiffs. They were non-minority voters who challenged this decision. These two districts that were minority majority, essentially, Louisiana had drawn up districts and then they were told in a legal battle that they had not represented black and minority voters sufficiently. They went back and drew a second district. So they had two of these minority majority districts. Well, then non-black voters sued and said, this is now violating our rights on the basis of race. So it looks like this is a 6-3.
You know, it's funny you put that in here, Snow, because I did eat. I got home with just enough time to eat before the stream started, because I was just going to eat. I was just going to say, heck with it. I'll just eat on stream. And then I was like, you know what? I can go ahead and devour this and then start streaming. I was over at Mr. and Mrs. Farmer Joe's. My stupid nephew got me sick. That's what children do, man. Still gonna eat. I'm not. There's nothing to eat. There's nothing to eat. For a majority of the day, I fasted. I've had not much today, but yeah, I definitely ate dinner before starting the stream. So thank you, Snowox, for adding that.
Decision. There is one concurrence here, but it looks like the dissent sticks together with Justices Kagan, Sotomayor, and Jackson. But here's what the majority says. They say in some, because the Voting Rights Act did not require Louisiana to create an additional majority-minority district, no compelling interest justified the state's use of race in creating SB 8. That was those two new districts. That map is an unconstitutional gerrymander, and its use would violate the plaintiff's constitutional rights. Now, this...
I told you guys the other day, they're pitting states against one another. Mucinex gonna mess up your stomach. Good, I'm glad. Race should only matter for medical issues. I don't know why it's on the census form. It makes me feel again. Ugh, Mucinex. Who wants to feel? Bask in the numbness? Jeez. This applies to all the U.S., so this will work for California, too.
This opinion is almost 100 pages long, so we're going through to see if it says something more broadly about the Voting Rights Act. That had been the
It's
fear
literally
on the
just
left,
the cities.
that somehow this decision, if it was favorable for those challenging these maps, that it would somehow do a big chunk out of the Voting Rights Act. Haven't gotten to language that suggests that yet. It sounds like...
Wait, what year was the Voting Rights Act? Let's look that up. 1965. 1965. It prohibits racial discrimination. So I'm assuming that means racial on both sides of the ball, any kind of discrimination. To where it's like, oh, we don't have enough this representation. We need to gerrymander the maps to supplement this group of people, when the vote should apply. It should apply to everybody. It should be everybody. A mixture, I guess. Has better gun laws than Vegas, taxes. Imagine, dude, if California goes red, oh my gosh. Dude, there's no doubt you'll go back. Spartan, what's up, man? What's up, Spartan? How are you? Great to have you here. Thank you for being here.
This decision is primarily about what happened in Louisiana, so we'll keep digging through this. But for right now, it's a win for those who were challenging these two minority-majority districts. Now, as we read through this and figure out the broader implications, there were 20-plus districts across the country that would have potentially lined up with this decision. They could be open to challenges that they were drawn on the basis of race, or that it was the primary factor that was used in drawing those districts. Most of those are throughout the South. So we'll look to see if there's enough sweeping language in this particular decision that may have a domino effect on some 20 other districts. Could be huge for the midterms. We'll continue to read through.
You got it.
Good. I visit California. Listen, I've visited California, well, not often, but as a kid, I visited California quite frequently. And then as an adult, I've been there twice. I've been there twice as an adult. Steve Hilton wants California have no tax. Oh, dude, if they do that, oh my gosh, man. Y'all might actually rebuild. Y'all might actually rebuild. I don't know. Maybe. California has the highest gas prices in the nation. Would you suspend the gas tax? Xavier Becerra says no. Steyer says no. Porter says no. Of course.
Mr. Mahan, you brought this up.
For
We're
the
talking
climate
about
change.
gas prices. They're the highest in the nation here in California, and the gas tax is also the highest at around 61 cents.
Wait. You see the Supreme Court decision on gun rights? 9-0, no waiting periods, no required training certificates. What? I did not see that. I'm still waiting on a suppressor because, Virginia. I'm waiting on a suppressor. Actually, I need to check my e-forms. We'll have to look into that here in a minute. Thank you for sharing that, B-Red.
Per gallon. So this is that lightning round where you say yes or no, and then we'll get back to it later. But please give me a yes or no answer.
Coastal Commission.
Are you in favor of suspending the gas tax? We know that Mr. Mahan says yes. Javier Becerra says no. What do you say, Tony Thurman?
Yes.
All right. Chad Bianco?
Yes.
Mr. Steyer?
I want a windfall profits tax on the oil companies who've raised the tax by $100.
All right,
Oh my
Mr.
gosh.
Steyer, there was a lot of
That's a
no's
no.
there. Let's go to Mr. Hilton.
No.
Mr. Hilton.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ms. Porter.
No.
All right. Mr. Villaraigosa.
No.
Mr. Mahan,
I don't trust people who want more taxes. I don't trust people who want more taxes, and neither should you. Usually they would be clickbaiting it hard. Haven't seen anyone on X. I haven't seen any comments about it. We'll definitely have to look into it because I did the silencer shop kiosk. I did the kiosk, and then I set up my e-forms, and I should have a suppressor on the way. I got to double check. I got to double check to see where my suppressor's on the way from. But it's been a long time. It's been a long time. Haven't heard anything about the suppressor. Haven't heard anything about my e-forms. So I don't know. I don't know. You know how the ATF is. You know how they are. No King's crowd greets King Charles with standing ovation.
Members of Congress, I have the high privilege and distinct honor of presenting to you His Majesty Charles III.
So they'll stand up for the king, but they won't stand up when they say that their job is to prioritize American citizens as an American government. Got it. Taking a selfie seeing Charles. Let's see if there's anybody here I know. Oh, hold on. Oh, there I saw a Vinman. Oh, Vinman. That's ridiculous. No kings. There are no kings. Former FBI Director James Comey has been indicted again by the U.S. Department of Justice. Dude's cooked. He's cooked. Jeez, B. Burger King. Get that person off the plane. Sorry. Don't clip that. Oh, gosh. Don't clip that. The FBI is currently raiding... Okay, we did see that. I bet it looks like World War 11 up... World War 11. Did these clowns that say no kings? Dude, they won't say no kings to the king. Jerry Lawler. Sorry, King, no worries. All right, I asked Senator Chuck Schumer if he stands by his good Lord, okay. All right. Reset. I asked Senator Chuck Schumer if he stands by his comment on the Senate floor last week that nobody in the country respects ICE and Border Patrol, and if he really believes that. ICE and Border Patrol, as I have said, need reform. I stand by that, Schumer said. Do you believe that nobody respects them, though?
Yes. Thank you, Leader Schumer. On the Senate floor last week, you said, quote, nobody in the country respects ICE and Border Patrol. Do you still stand by that comment?
The bottom line is very simple.
Do you believe that?
ICE and Border Patrol, as we have said, need reform. I stand by that.
Do you believe that nobody respects them?
Go ahead.
Of course. Of course. He's got to switch up now because he was a slave to his emotion. He said something while he was fired up, and now he's going back on it, and he can't even acknowledge that what he said was wrong. Hey, you know what? I did say that, and I probably shouldn't have because that's just not the case. Obviously, there are people who respect ICE and Border Patrol. Obviously, there are people that support what they're doing. You know, it is what it is. My bad, dog. Keep it moving. But no, he didn't do that. He did not do that. The Virginia Supreme Court has officially denied Democrats' move to reinstate 10D-1R congressional map, refusing to pause the lower... Excuse me. Hey, brother, I'm doing awesome. Just got off work and ate some pizza. Nice chilling. Later playing some... Wait. Diablo and Diablo 4 Lord of Hatred. So I've heard about that game, but I've also heard of... We need an illiterate counter? No, we don't. I've heard of Diablo, but I also talked to Tyler about Hell Let Loose. Should I get that game? Is that something that I can play with my assistant? Is that something that I can play with a buddy? You don't need an illiterate counter. Let's just watch the video.
Breaking tonight, a circuit court in Virginia ruled a short time ago, within the past 2 hours, that the redistricting referendum passed by voters yesterday is unconstitutional. The judge is now blocking certification of the election and denying a motion to stay pending appeal. Virginia's Democratic Attorney General responding by posting that he plans to appeal that. Correspondent Mark Meredith has.
I don't understand how an attorney general can be affiliated with a party. Their job is to interpret the law. They can be appointed by a Democrat or a Republican or an independent, but that appointment shouldn't dictate what party they're affiliated or they are subject to. And Jay Jones, or whatever his name, Jay Jones in Virginia, we know he's got a checkered past. He said some things that are just completely uncalled for. But it should be to interpret the actual law as it's written. It shouldn't be party affiliation. Oh yeah, we do have climate change. Well, no, we don't have climate change. When you look at party affiliation, I go back to Obama in 2008. 2007, when he was campaigning, there was a lot of things that he flipped on because the party said, hey, you're our candidate. You have to flip to what we say. But when you have a position like an attorney general, who is the top law enforcement officer in the state, they're subject to the law and interpretation. It's all theater. Agreed.
Brett, good evening to you. Plenty of new drama here in the Commonwealth tonight. Republicans are challenging the legality of yesterday's ballot measure. They have asked a judge to throw out the case.
Okay, correct. Executive branch, but law enforcement falls under the executive branch. So as far as interpretation from the execution, all of your deputies, police officers, all of those things, they fall under the executive branch. So being that they fall under the executive branch, they fall under the top law enforcement officer in the state or the AG. So I agree. But there is interpretation because every year after that, after legislation takes place, they have to mandate all these legal updates for all of these surrounding agencies, all of the state agencies, and everyone has to say, all right, at this time, the way we interpret the, so say we take headlights. Back in the day, you could stop a car for having a headlight out. But you want to know what happened? There ended up being a ton of DUIs that were caught from a headlight, a ton of drugs that were caught from a headlight. And it affected somebody that said, you know what? Maybe one headlight out isn't enough. There need to be two. It needs to be two headlights out. High mountain brake lights. I can't begin to tell you the amount of drugs I got off the streets from stopping cars with just a third brake light. When the laws change, they offer their interpretation. They say, this is how we're proceeding, moving forward. So it's this whole web of things. And it's like, politicians are never wrong. Fake news. Fake news. The best shooters are 30 years old. GoldenEye, Doom, Rise of the Triad, No One Lives Forever, Unreal Tournament, Rainbow Six, Quake. I've never played actually, the only one of those that I've played, only two that I've played, is GoldenEye and Doom. I have more than one friend that got pulled over for a headlight and got a DUI. It happens, or it used to happen a lot more.
Injunction was issued. The judge agreeing. Democrats, as you mentioned, say they are going to appeal, that there's no merit to this case, that they believe this is an attempt to override the will.
Did you guys know that the average DUI driver, and this might be old data or data, depending on where you're from, the average DUI driver drives intoxicated up to 70 times a year. 70 times a year. Insane. All right, we're gonna move on from this because I got all this stuff going on. I got a lot of catching up to do. Oh, we did see this. We'll watch it again.
Act was invoked. It was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
World War XI. We're not going to let that slide. You are a member of Congress. You serve a Sobe raid. Oh, we just got a raid? Let's go. I didn't even get the raid notification. I didn't even get the raid notification. What the heck is going on with my notifications? Shout out to everyone here who is from Sobe. I think that's how you say it. Pay attention to Kick. I don't. That's probably what it is. It's because I don't have Kick open. Let's open Kick. I get yelled at every time. Let's go to Kick. The main purpose of my Kick stream is to funnel people to my Twitch stream. And I get it. I know that some people say, oh, well, you know, Kick is better than Twitch, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, to an extent, it might be for certain things. And, hold on. To an extent, it might be for certain things. I don't want to hear my own voice. I don't even have a stream manager on here. Twitch is lame. I don't think Twitch is lame. I don't think YouTube is lame. But those are my main... Let's see. Okay, he just rated on Twitch. The reason I prioritize Twitch is because obviously Twitch for me is just more lucrative, it's more beneficial. Sorry. If you're watching this and you're on Kick, I am gonna see your chat. I'm gonna see the chat because the chat I have a dual chat, but it just. Oh, and I got gifted subs on here. Oh, our friend is back. PO is on Kick. I think he's on Kick. Hold on. I think he's on Kick. It just showed his name on here. Let's see. I don't have a stream manager on Kick. Here's a creator dashboard. That might be it. No, still no stream manager. Let's see. Are you gonna stream on Vaughn.live? Dude, I did hear about that. I'm not. Listen, stop it. Stop it, D2. I'm always on both platforms when I come to Twitch because he said he's gonna give you a hard time for not paying attention to Kick. I prioritize Twitch. It just is what it is. That's the main line of effort, as it were. That is the main line of effort. All right, let's see. Did I click this? No, of course it opened in this window over here. It opened in this window over here. We've got to take a look and see what we got. All right. All right, I'm not even going to read that. I'm just going to play the video. I'm just going to play the video.
He's not like the hands-on working at his plant.
That's not. You don't know anything about the job.
Yes, you literally work.
Oh, wait a second. Bree's here.
I want to be ninja.
Bree's here.
I want to be ninja. I want to chop chow down.
Take chow down to Chinatown.
I want to be ninja.
Shout out to Bree. All right, this lady, lazy wife, thinks his job is easy.
Most that you do is walk from building to building. That's the only physical labor you do. And at my job, I'm up walking around the halls.
So you're walking around the same?
That's a red flag. This lady is a red flag. You got to drop her, dude. If she's not your biggest fan, if she's not your #1 supporter and appreciative of you doing what you need to do, especially if you're the breadwinner, you got to drop her, man. Snow, no, you can't ban her yet. Valk's here. Shout out to Valk. Thank you for being here.
Yes, I walk around just as much as you do.
You load semi-trucks?
Do you do that by hand or do you use a forklift for that, where you sit and control?
You still have to know how to do all that stuff.
Yes, so you have a mentally heavy job.
Have you loaded a truck with a forklift?
I know that you don't use muscle to do that.
Have you used a crane?
You also don't use muscle to do that.
Wow.
You're using machinery, like you're operating a machine.
Correct.
You're not like back-breaking labor every single day. So when you're doing the whole,
So here you have a man who's willing to work for his wife or his woman. I don't know if they're married. But she is just like saying pretty much he does nothing. She needs lifted with a forklift? She might, I don't know. And that doesn't sneak up on you. That's nothing new. That's because she probably grew up without a dad. No positive male role models in her life. No one held her accountable. And now she's doing this and she's berating her husband on a show that gets millions of views. My wife would never.
So exhausted. I'm exhausted every day from
mentally
working
exhausted
and figuring out food for our kids and taking care of our kids and getting our kids to bed and all that. And then you get home at 11 or whatever and you just immediately get on your game. And so when I wake up
now, okay, that might be the problem. If he's coming home and he's not devoting time to the wife or the kids and he's immediately hopping on Gray Zone, he's immediately hopping into Twitch to stream, that's a problem. You guys know in my house, my priority is my wife. 100%. When I come home, I was at the range today. I came home, spent a few minutes, then I come down here. Yesterday, I took a day off because I wanted to spend some time. That's the thing, is that you have to have balance. And I think one of the things that she's mostly upset about, because she's hurt, because she wants to spend time, One of the things she wants to feel support from is because he just comes home and plays the game. He comes home and hops on Arc Raiders, and that's all he does the entire night. I mean, I berate you every day. No, you don't. So many such stories in today's world. Beat me off over his wife. I was offended. Hush. It is 11. I'm guessing the kid's already asleep, but that is a valid... That's true. Family always comes first.
What am I supposed to do at 11 o'clock at night when everyone's sleeping?
What are you playing?
Marvel Rivals.
Marvel Rivals. Okay. All right. 1 wife, 2 kids, 3 the boys. One's God. One's God. God, wife, kids. And then everything else falls after that. Dude, I've never played Rivals. My kid wanted me to get Rivals, but I didn't. I didn't. Oh, here he is. No, that's Hakeem. Oh, Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries responds to Caroline Levitt. She wants us to lecture. She wants to lecture us about civility. Get lost. Clean up your own house before you have anything to say to us. Okay.
If we get a turnout that mirrors 2018 or 2020. And that's exactly what we expect will happen.
Mr. Leader, I know you said you stand by your comments. At the same time, you have been the subject of threats as well. So with respect to this comment about maximum warfare, even if it's about redistricting, why not tone down the language here in this moment?
Tone down the language.
I think that what's interesting to me, as you pointed out, is that the so-called White House press secretary, who's a disgrace. She's a
oh, and we just got a follow. Who is that? I can't see the name. We just got a follow. Thank you so much for the follow. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And read talking points, being critical.
Asobi, what emoji is that?
Statements all taken out of context that Democrats have made and didn't have a word to say about anything that MAGA extremists have said or done, including providing aid and comfort to violent insurrectionists.
Let's see, mod Asobi so he can change kick. The stream title should be updated. I updated all my stream titles at the same time. I updated my stream titles. Let's go back to Kick. I wonder if it's the studio. Let's go to Creator Dashboard Studio. No, that's these are just my VODs. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This is it. Yeah, I updated my stream title. My stream title's good to go. Smoke detector with wings. Dude, I don't know how to change a 9 volt battery, and I don't know why. I don't know why I don't know how to change a 9 volt battery. It's a cultural thing. My buddy Cody tells me that they're the African ceiling birds, but I don't think I have any birds in here. I don't think I have any birds in here. Because
here at this Capitol on January 6th, who brutally beat police officers. The president...
You know what's crazy to me? Anytime they mention January 6th, that is the only time you see people on the left that support law enforcement. Also, there were no law enforcement officers that were brutally beaten or murdered on January 6th. So why do they keep saying the same things over and over again? Especially, Hakeem.
Then pardon
Hakeem Jeffries.
Those violent rioters, many of whom have gone back into communities across the country to reoffend.
Tour guide.
And as you pointed out, one of whom threatened to kill me. He said, kill the terrorist. Where did that...
So that's him volunteering himself and saying, hey, if this person said kill the terrorist, that's a direct threat against me. You're admitting to being a terrorist. One died of heart attack the next day. Several others committed suicide. Sewer slide months later. All right, I'm out to try to settle. All right, Mrs. Farmer Joe, thank you for being here. Go ahead, give the baby a hug for all of us. I'm called Obama Light. Ugh. Ugh. Ugh.
Language come from? What Republicans use that language? Why did that pardon MAGA extremists, violent insurrectionists, choose to use the language of terrorism directed at me when he threatened to kill me at an event. And so how can we take them seriously when they raise...
So I had a conversation about a certain event in history and how you have all of the victims and the emotions. Always consider the facts. I'm not saying that one side is completely without blame, because there's nobody. He who is without sin cast the first stone. But this is a dramatic response. Oh, they're doing it, so we're going to do it. That's not how it should work.
These partisan attacks and completely ignore the fact...
All right, I've had enough of Hakeem. Oh, Haskeem. Haskeem. He's always scheming something. Oh no. I didn't want to get into this. I did not want to talk about this. I saw Timu Obama, good Lord. I saw this in my group of friends. I did not want to talk about this. I'm just going to read it. That's all I'm going to do. You guys know I started a huge argument on X over this. This is before your meltdown. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to share this on X. I'm just going to talk about it because there was a whole thing. Old Nate I'm just going to say old Nate. Yes, sadly, also Green Beret also fails to understand that lights can go off inside buildings. I know it's a crazy concept. Can't make this stuff up. So Nate posted, he said, sick nods in a fully lit room, bro. Tactical AF. Somebody dug through Nate's Instagram and they saw where he posted where he had nods on outdoors on a sunny day. Why would a Green Beret have nods on during a sunny day, depending on whatever structure you're going into? The guys that I know and the guys that I've trained with from CAT, these guys prepare for the worst. And what is the worst? Somebody cuts the power. Now there's no lights. The worst, somebody cuts the power. There's no lights. Furthermore, everyone's like, oh, well, why are his nods down? His nods aren't down. I could show you. Well, matter of fact, let me show you. Let me show you. Just wait here. Talk amongst yourselves. So that guy's nods are down. But you see they have this feature where they fold to go in front of your eyeballs. So if you have them down, like this is prepped, I would not normally wear them like this, but I have them prepped to where I can just fold these down and boom, now they're in front of my eyeballs. Now they're in use. So saying that, oh, well, he's using his nods. No, he's not. His nods are flipped up. They're just somewhere where he can flip down one of the tubes or both of the tubes, and now he can look through both. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. It might not. I don't know. Show off. I'm not a show off. I promise I'm not a show off. I'm going to read proceeds to analyze. I'm just saying, I'm talking about outside of the context of that post. Let's see. When I forget my nods during daytime in gray zone, I feel dumb, but only because I don't want to lose them. Dude, I've never worn nods in gray zone. He's a terrible shot. Ask me how I know. Bro, what are you talking about? Look, okay, there's no way to prove you wrong right now. There's no way I can go against what you're saying and prove you wrong because there are no videos that I have readily accessible of me shooting, especially shooting any course of fire. That's like you saying that you could beat me in jiu-jitsu. There's no way to prove it. We all know who would win. We all know who's... Well, never mind. I'll leave it alone. Hey, if you got the tools to explain visual examples IRL, nothing wrong with that. Just being thorough. Exactly. Exactly. But B has to troll. This better be a palate cleanser. After all that nonsense. What is this? U.S. airport sniffer dog detected over 100 pork and chicken sandwiches from 7-Eleven in Thailand. 100 pork and chicken sandwiches from 7-Eleven in Thailand. Merla found the snacks hidden in the passenger's luggage, which were later destroyed. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine that dog? Like, oh, I hit the mother load. I got all the snacks. I got pork and chicken. Who has taken 100 sandwiches home in their luggage? Maybe not home. It might not be home. It might be to Thailand to feed the poor. I don't know. I don't know. This fake gotta be. I don't know. Look into it. Look into it. They destroyed them. Didn't even give him one. They might have given him one. Great doggo, but begs the question, why? Smuggling sandwiches. I don't blame them. All right, we already watched this one. Rosa DeLauro. What state is she out of? Let's look it up real quick. Rosa DeLauro. Connecticut, of course. Hold on, let me pull up this picture. Oh, no, I can't click on it. Wait, let's go. Hold on, let's do some further digging on this lady. Let's find out if she's part of that group. Oh wow. Oh wow. I found a page that has the affiliation of each member of Congress. Let's take a scroll through here real quick. See, this is ADHD. I'm sidetracked. What's her name? It's by state. Connecticut. Roman Catholic? Huh. Roman Catholic. This lady. You know what? Let's not get botted tonight. Let's not get botted tonight. We're not going to get botted. I'm going to leave that one alone. Poll says I'd win the fight. Of course the poll says you'd win the fight. She has blue hair, so I can't look into it. Crazy cat lady, or just crazy lady. She makes me rage every time she opens. She's something. She is something. She got all fired up for not knowing any of the stuff that she should know as a congressperson. Dog that looks like it has a gentle heart is demanding pets from a tourist. Oh my gosh. Look at that dog. Oh man. What kind of dog is that? Dog's like, hey, just so you know, come on. Gosh, Leo does that. Look at that dog. Gosh, man, I love when a dog comes over and they hit you with that paw. Gosh, there's nothing like it. There's nothing. Pet that dog. Can I pet that dog? That is great. Thank you, Snowox, for putting that in the stream discussion folder. And we go right into this. Oh gosh, this is how I picture Rusty. Anytime, but you don't have a dog. I do have a dog. First of all, Leo is a dog. This is how I picture Rusty as he's watching the stream. Every comment that he makes.
I want to be clear on this. I do not want that man to die. I want to watch him suffer. And I can't watch a dead person suffer. So I want him to be fully cognizant come November. So when people tell him.
Oh my gosh. Your money is on Snowox. You lose that money. That is the Raging Cajun. That is the Raging Cajun. And this isn't Cajun music, but whatever. It's all I have. It's all I have. It's all I got for now. For now. A 20... Lord have mercy. I started so good. Go ahead and put a litter in the chat. A 20-story tower in San Francisco valued at $320 million went up for auction. There wasn't a single bidder, not even for $1. The property is now vacant because no one wants to make an investment in Democrat-run San Francisco. High crime rates and homelessness are cited reasons for office buildings like this to not see purchase. Bidding for the property started at $80 million, but no offers. A massive decline in value. WeWork used to be their major tenant, occupying nearly 200,000 square feet in the same building. Well, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. He looks terrible. Bro would use range. King gets angry, and I'm random. What are you talking about? Bro, if we were on the jiu-jitsu mats right now, I wouldn't even go for a choke. I just put you in a Kimura. Not to mention exit tax. Those exit taxes are unconstitutional. I don't care what anybody says. Nope, no dogs allowed. See, y'all just get on the internet and do anything. Yeah, I'm gonna hang out in this cage because I know there's. Listen, first off, if there's sharks in the water, I don't care what cage there is. I'm not getting in there. I saw Jaws. That cage is not the perfect layer of protection. Although this is cool. I try to take the shark home as a pet. Oh my gosh. Would you also choose the bear? All taxes are unconstitutional. When I was testing for black, yeah, but you weren't even doing jiu-jitsu. I bet your nephew, who does jiu-jitsu, could take you down. I'm just saying. I swim with sharks after Katrina. Here we go. We got our first one of the night. Are you ready with a... What? Oh my gosh. Listen, okay, so let's talk about the bear thing. So, with the bear, I saw a lady that said, most women, it depends on if it's she's got a polar bear, a grizzly bear, or a black bear. She said, with bears, the polar bear is the most dangerous as far as dangerous to harming humans. The grizzly bear, she might have said it was another brown bear. A grizzly bear is medium, and the black bear, there's almost no danger. Almost no danger. They're skittish. They don't a lot of times approach people. They're always looking for snacks and food and things like that. If you apply that to men, it's the opposite. Countries where majority white males, those countries are more safe. Women are more protected. Countries where there's people that are brown, a little bit less protected. And countries like a lot of the countries in Africa where it's majority black, there's not a lot of protections for women. Zero. There's little to none. Zero protections for women. I'm like, good Lord, I've seen 2 black bears. Kodiak bears or grizzly on steroids. Dude, I see a bear. The last time I went camping, we were in West Virginia. I was with Tyler and a group of friends, and I heard the coyotes. Never saw a bear. They're like, oh, there's a bear that's out at because we were on a long range shooting range, probably around the 600 yard or 600 meter mark. There was a bear that had been spotted, but it never comes up like past 100. And it's because all the berries and the bushes and everything else, it's down there. Everything else closer, it's all cut, it's all mowed. And then where we're staying in the tree line, there's obviously nothing there. All right, let's dive into this one because this is our first awful of the night. I feel like we've seen this lady before. Oh, wait, hold on. This is... Oh, my gosh.
Motherfuckers missed again. Oh, my God.
I'm already crying.
Imagine faking your own assassination attempt for the 3rd time, and then everybody's just upset that it wasn't real, and that.
Are there people still think that this is all fake? Despite having years of this guy's social media history and, I don't know, a manifesto, people think that
he didn't croak.
I wake up each morning hoping he has died.
This is the guy. Whenever I stay at a hotel and I stream from a hotel and you see that chair in the corner, that's where this guy sits. This is the kind of guy, he's not going to sit at the desk. He's not going to sit on the bed. He has to be tucked away in the corner. This is that kind of guy. Bro, relax. People are dumb, agreed. Bears, hogs, and panthers are why I carry my 300 blackout pistol when hiking and camping. Dude, I didn't realize the danger with hogs. These wild hogs, insane. My 9mm ain't going to do the job. It ain't going to do the job. It might. People don't realize how stupid they are and how many failures there are. It's true. Usually loud, abrupt noises. What's the chair called? You know what it's called.
I go to bed each night, hoping by the time I get up in the morning, he has died. For the love of all things good, just fucking die!
They missed again? It's America!
None of these people have dads. None of them. Not one of them has had a dad hold them accountable ever in their life. Here we go. We got Miss Porter in here. Gosh, this lady, she's so insufferable. Look at her forehead. Look at, like, oh my gosh. You know, what's the guy from Goonies? Hey, you guys. That's what she looks like. Don't clip that. Don't clip that. You can clip it. I don't care. She's so insufferable. She beats her husband. Chunk. It's Chunk.
I can't tell you what it's like to be a man in the world of politics. It does appear to at least require less makeup and shorter heels, but we've never had a woman governor in California. And really, one of the things I sort of recently realized was the last.
That's because between San Francisco, Beverly Hills, and LA, all places that have had female leadership, we've seen them go down the drain. This is not even my opinion. These places in California that have had females in leadership have gone down the drain. Gone down the drain. Oh, you should vote for me just because I'm a woman. You're a terrible person. Did y'all see the video of her cussing out a staffer for being in the background when she was doing a Zoom call? Straight up cussed her out. Then she went and she ended an interview with a reporter because she said, if you're going to ask the question and ask follow-up questions, I'm not going to do this. This lady's a journalist. This is a reporter who's talked to all the other candidates. They ask questions and then they ask follow-up questions. Guess what? To get more information on who they're voting for. And but this is hostile. Gosh, this lady, she's the worst. Honestly, she is the worst. Shout out to Sarah Huckabee Sanders for being a great governor. This lady, that reporter went off script. But that reporter, they put it side by side. She didn't ask anything differently than what she was asking everybody else. And here's the thing. If somebody goes off script in an interview and they're asking you questions that you haven't been privy to, you say, you know what? I'd rather look into that a little bit deeper before answering that question. Oh my gosh. Media trained, instead of saying, you know what, this is hostile, when it's clearly not hostile. It's not hostile. But you know what? I'd rather not go into that. I want to look into that further and get you a definitive answer. Super easy, rather than the other option.
This time, Democrats had a woman on the ballot even for governor. On the general election, the November ballot was 1994. Kathleen Brown. And I was
look at this
in
guy.
college then. That's a whole generation plus. That's 30-some years ago. My 30th reunion's coming up. So it's a long time since Californians have really had the opportunity to break that glass ceiling, to think about what women's leadership would look like. One of the things is, how are you going to set that cooperative, productive relationship with the legislature? Thinking about how are you going to work with boards of supervisors?
I don't even like her voice. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, we're all caught up. So we are caught up. You guys know I did put it in the title. We're only streaming for an hour tonight. We're at about an hour now. Actually, you know what? Let's take the green screen down. Give me 1 second. All right, so I hate the fact that I have to end an hour, but I do have to pick up my kid. Listen, if you're not in the Discord, hop in the Discord. We're in there all the time. It's always going. Make sure you subscribe to King Pix Media and King Pix Media TV. Please clean your room. Bro, look at clean my room. I cleaned it today. I put everything away. I know where everything is. That was trippy. That's a good effect. Yeah. It throws everyone off. Make sure you're following King Pix Media and King Pix Media TV on Instagram and YouTube. Also, be sure to check out the Black and Blue podcast. Please unclean your room. Not doing that. Also, best way to support the channel, head over to kingpixmedia.com. Click the merch drop down. I've got certain discounts. But I also have King Pix Media exclusive merch. You guys know we stream every day at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow's no different. I will be here at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if I'm late, you're going to find out in Discord first. Snow, is there anybody on the Discord link? Okay, I gotta get the Discord link on. Let's do this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the Discord link in the chat because it's not on Kick. Let me get you a link. Hold on. How do I do this? Invite to server. No. I have to select certain people. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna put a Discord link. It's not on Kick, dude. There we go. Discord link is on Kick and it's on YouTube. Make sure you join the Discord. We're almost to 200 people and it's always a party in there. But for right now, head over to King Pix Media. Click the merch drop down. I've got certain discounts. King Pix Media merch. Please consider subbing. We are at, I think, 1,200 followers on Kick. Or excuse me, on Twitch. I've got 43 subs. Let's see what Kick is looking like. Kick, I've got 138 followers on Kick. I've got 28 viewers on Kick right now, which is the first time that I've had more viewers in Kick than what I have on Twitch. That's huge, and it's all in part to Asobi for the raid. But make sure you guys, if you're on Twitch, if you're on Kick, for the most part, if I'm streaming on Twitch, I am streaming on Kick. There are some days where it's Twitch only, but drop a sub. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Tomorrow we're running Gray Zone. You know how it goes. Snowox, is anybody on? Is there anybody for me to raid? Does anybody want to raid? No, nobody's on. Okay. Okay. We got nobody here.